Good day everyone. For today, we will be answering the long exam 2 in differential and integral calculus. The coverage of this one involves derivatives of transcendental functions, trigonometric, inverse trigo, logarithmic, and exponential, and partial differentiation. Good for 70 minutes. You may try solving, then score yourself later. So this is the true or false. Feel free to pause it. And this is the problem solving. Again, please feel free to pause it and then check later. Alright. After 10 seconds, we are going to solve the test 1. Let's have the true or false. This symbol and this symbol mean the same thing for all equations involving x and y. Of course, this is false. Because the derivative of y with respect to x and the partial derivative of y with respect to x don't mean the same thing. Because what if you have a function z here, which is a function of x and y, wherein here you have only f of x. So they won't mean the same thing. Number 2, ln of xy is equal to ln x times ln y for all x and y greater than 0. This is wrong because there's a quantifier for all x and y, meaning to say we are generalizing the real numbers. However, using the property of logarithm, we can already drop the parentheses here. This one is equal to this. Here, we can say that this is for all x and y greater than 0. So, this is false. Number 3. E raised to x plus 1 is equal to e raised to x times e raised to negative 1 for all x in the real number set. This is false. Because this should be positive 1. Okay, false. Next, the second partial derivative of z with respect to x is written as this one. This one is false because the symbol is wrong. Should be this. Take a look at that. The denominator here on the symbol should be like this. Next, let's have the problem solving. Find the derivative of each. Note that a, b, and c are arbitrary constants. Simplify whenever possible. Okay. Y equals the quantity 1 minus cosine squared x all raised to 5. Okay. Recall that 1 minus cosine squared x is equal to sine squared x. Okay, where does this come from? From the Pythagorean identity. Okay, so we are going to change this one into sine squared x raised to 5, and then eventually our y becomes sine raised to 10 x. Okay, this one takes the form u raised to n, which is a power. So we are going to use the power rule here. So therefore, y prime is equal to 10 sine raised to 9 of x, and then times the derivative of sine x, because that is our u here. Remember, this is n u raised to n minus 1, and then this is the derivative according to the chain rule. Okay, continuing this, we have 10 sine raised to 9 of x and cosine x. This is the final answer. If you did not convert the equivalent expression of this to this, you will get a deduction. Well, for me, you will get a deduction. Because take note, simplify whenever possible. And the simpler version of this is, of course, this one. Why? Because this one has 2 terms. This one only has 1 term. Number 2. Y equals 3 ln of the quantity 2x minus 1 times 2x plus 1. Express the final answer as a single fraction. In this case, since we are given an instruction to express the answer as a single fraction, we are going to multiply the argument or the inputs of the ln function here. So, it becomes y, okay, 3 ln of the quantity 4x squared minus 1. Okay, this one takes the form ln u. This is your u. Okay, how do we get the derivative of ln? Therefore, your 3 here is here, outside the differentiation process. We can move that outside. So, here we have 1 over 4x squared minus 1 times the derivative of the u. The derivative of u is 8x. Okay, multiply everything. So, we'll get 24x over 4x squared minus 1. This is our answer. Take note, you cannot cancel this. Be careful. Next, y equals 1/3 a squared e raised to cotangent x. Take note that these are constants and then followed by e raised to u. So we're just going to take out the constant outside and proceed with the differentiation of e raised to u. Okay, therefore, y prime is equal to 1/3 a squared. What is the derivative of e raised to u? You're just going to copy it, followed by the derivative of the exponent. The derivative of the exponent is negative cosecant squared x. Don't forget to put the parentheses. Please don't forget this, okay? However, what if you did not put the parentheses? You did not write the parentheses. This will be interpreted as a subtraction already instead of multiplication. That's why do not or never forget to put the parentheses here. Okay, multiplying everything. So we have negative 1/3 a squared e raised to cotangent x cosecant squared x. Number 4, x squared plus 4y squared plus xy equals arctangent 1 minus sine pi. Okay, this one is simply constant. This one are constants. Okay, let us proceed by getting the derivative. Okay, let's highlight. This is your x squared. Let's highlight everything so that you can follow their derivatives. Okay, so let's take the derivative of both sides of the equation. So I have here 2x plus 8y, y prime, plus xy is a product. So I have xy prime plus y, and then equals 0. Okay, let's highlight everything. This is this color blue, derivative of xy. Your green here is the derivative of 4y squared, and the yellow one, derivative of x squared. Okay, the next thing that you're going to do is to isolate the y prime. Okay. At the same time, let's factor it out. So I have y prime times the quantity 8y plus x. Okay, where did these come from? From here. Okay, because they both have y primes. And then on the right side of the equation, we have negative 2x minus y. Divide both sides of the equation by 8y plus x, and also at the same time, let's take out the negative. So, negative, your numerator will be positively signed already. So, I have 2x plus y because we already took out the negative. And then on the denominator, I have x plus 8y. So, I just rearrange the term. Again, you cannot cancel this out already. Please don't do this. Okay, you cannot cancel those out. So, this is already the final answer. Next, ln y over x plus ln 5y over 2x equals 2a plus 4b. This is, again, constants. Okay, let us apply the property of logarithm before performing the differentiation. Because take note, this one is difficult to be differentiated because you have a fraction. So, you will use the quotient rule later on. So, I will apply the property of logarithm. Okay, I have here ln y minus ln x. For this, okay, and then plus ln 5y minus ln 2x equals 2a plus 4b. Okay, I will highlight again this one. This color green is this, equivalent to this. Alright, next, we can actually perform another conversion for this. Okay, I have ln y minus ln x plus, for this one, we are going to make this ln 5 plus ln y. That is your property of logarithm for product. And then minus the quantity ln 2 minus plus ln x. Okay, let's just make this aligned. Okay. And then equals 2a plus 4b. Okay, let us combine like terms. Okay, where are our like terms? Okay, I have here ln y. Okay, and ln x. So, those are like terms, similar terms. So, we will combine them. How do you combine? So, I have 2 ln y minus 2 ln x. And then, let us move the ln 5 and ln 2 to the other side of the equation. Okay, let us get the derivative of both sides of the equation. The derivative is, so I have here 2 times the quantity 1 over y times y prime. Okay, that is the derivative of this. Okay, minus 2 times the derivative of ln x, that is only 1 over x, equals 0. Okay, all of the quantities on the right side, the derivative of them is 0. Simplifying this, we have 2y prime over y minus 2 over x equals 0. Isolating the y prime, okay, I just rearrange everything. Okay, so we have 2y prime over y equals 2 over x. Y prime is equal to, so take note that your 2 here will cancel out already. Just multiply both sides by 1/2. And then what's the answer? Y over x. Okay, this is our answer. Y over x. Next, let's have the partial derivative. Given z equals x cubed minus y cubed minus 3x squared y plus 3xy squared minus the quantity x minus y cubed plus 2x squared plus 3y squared. So, find the partial derivative of z with respect to x and y. So, take a look at our given. If you are good in algebra, you can see that this is equal to this. This is actually the expanded version of this one. How do you expand the cube of a binomial? So, you start with the highest term. Since this is minus, so take a look at what's happening. So, your x will have a descending power. Take a look at the sign. And then your y will have ascending power. So, I have y cubed here, I have y squared here, I have y here, and here we have y raised to 0. But we're no longer writing that because that's equal to positive 1. And then after that, we are going to supply the coefficients from Pascal's triangle. This is x minus y raised to 0, the coefficient. This is x minus y raised to 1. This is 1 and 1, correct? Those are the coefficients. And then here, we have the square of a binomial. Okay, remember the square of a binomial? This is its coefficient. Okay, 1, 2, and 1. And then for your cubic, for a cube of a binomial, so I have 1, 3, 3, 1. As you can see, this is it. This is just the rearranged version of this one. So they're only equivalent. So what will we do on it? This will become 0 already. Okay, so I have here this. So for in this case, you're no longer going to get the derivative of that because you can already subtract them. Okay, so this one will be 0. So finally, the c is only 2x squared plus 3y squared. Okay, let us get this partial derivative. Take note that this is equal to the partial derivative of the partial derivative with respect to y with respect to x. Okay. So, let's get that already. Therefore, the z, that partial derivative is equal to this one. So, I'm just going to plug everything together so that our solution will be more compact. We're no longer going to separate them. Okay, the partial derivative of z with respect to y is, your x is constant. Okay, here. So, 2x squared is constant. So, what's the partial derivative? 6y. Okay, next, performing this one, the partial derivative of 6y with respect to x. Of course, here y is constant. So, what's the answer? 0. The answer is 0. Number 7. We're going to find the y prime using partial differentiation. So, we have the following formula. The y prime is equal to the partial derivative of z with respect to x over the partial derivative of z with respect to y. Negative. Okay. So, let us get the partial derivative with respect to x and with respect to y. But before that, let us introduce the variable z. This is the most essential thing to do. Because we are going to use the variable. Okay, let us get the partial derivatives. What is the partial derivative with respect to x? So here, y is constant. So I have 2x plus y. Okay. So the derivative of this is 0 and then the derivative of this is 0 also. Next. The partial derivative with respect to y. So I have 8y plus x. Okay, which means the partial derivative of this is 0 with respect to y and also this. Now, let us set up. Therefore, y prime is equal to the negative partial derivative with respect to x over the partial derivative with respect to y. So, that is negative 2x plus y all over x plus 8y. So, is this the same as the one that we got in item number 4? Yes. Next. So, let's use this. We will use the partial differentiation again here. Okay. So, I'm just going to copy this. This one. Because this one is easier to be differentiated. Okay? First things first, let z be equal to 2ln y minus 2ln x minus 2a minus 4b plus ln 5 minus ln 2. Okay. What is the partial derivative with respect to x? So, this is the only one differentiable here. The rest are still differentiable, but their derivatives are 0. So, this is negative 2 over x. And then, for the partial derivative with respect to y, 2 over y. And then, last, ultimately, y prime is equal to the negative partial derivative with respect to x over with respect to y. So, I have here, negative 2 over x over 2 over y. Okay, so I have positive 2 over x times y over 2. So, this will cancel out already. So, your y prime is y over x. This is also the same as the one that we got in item number 5. Last item, the differential equation m dx plus n dy, where m are functions of x and y, is said to be exact if and only if the partial derivative of m of this one with respect to y is equal to the partial derivative of n with respect to x. Prove or disprove that the differential equation below is exact. Okay, this one is very easy. This is your m, and then this is your n. So let us set up the equation. Okay, is my equal to nx? So the subscripts denote the partial differentiation. Okay, what is the partial derivative of m with respect to y? So that would be 3x squared minus 3. Okay, that is with respect to y. How about the partial derivative of n with respect to x? So that is 3x squared minus 2. Okay, they are not equal. So you're going to write something like this. Okay, since the partial derivative of m with respect to y is not equal to the partial derivative of n with respect to x, the DE, the differential equation, is not exact. This is the answer.